So we back with Manish, and we're going to have one song from Usha Tiwari first, and then we're going to have question answers for Manish. So Usha ji, can you give us a song, please? Thank you. Usha ji? Usha ji is there? Or did I confuse her?
I quickly have to go and close all my windows. We have enormous thunderstorm. So I'm not leaving. I'll be back.
Love you. Come back, please. Usha ji, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Usha ji, एक गाना हो जाए मनीष के लिए. One song, please, and then we'll continue.
Thank you, Usha ji.
Thank you, Usha.
My pleasure. जो भी चाहूं वो मैं पाऊं जिंदगी में जीते जाऊं चाँद तारे तोड़ लाऊं सारी दुनिया पर मैं छाऊं बस इतना सा ख्वाब है बस इतना सा ख्वाब है जो भी चाहूं वो मैं पाऊं जिंदगी में जीते जाऊं चाँद तारे तोड़ लाऊं सारी दुनिया पर मैं चाहूं बस इतना सा ख्वाब है बस इतना सा ख्वाब है मनीष जी आपके लिए बाप बड़ा न भैया सबसे बड़ा रुपया
So Manish, remember, आपने कहा था कि ये वाली पिक्चर मैंने देखी थी. Thank you, Usha ji. Thank you so much. So
my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Would you like to say something more, Manish? Because we had to kind of move from one to the other. There were messages coming that there was a client who was trying to commit suicide, and she couldn't have seen that, and so which is why her talk became a little short, which is okay, which is how it was. Just for everybody, now my internet wasn't working 3 minutes and hasn't worked the whole day till 3 minutes before the talk.
You were breaking up from time to time.
Yeah, because the reception, I mean, I just did not have an internet today.
Really?
And, yes. And
how nice.
It just started 3 minutes before the whole.
But it's nice. You were able to relax a little bit.
Absolutely. Manish, any questions for Manish, guys? Any questions?
Yeah, before, just 1 minute, what Usha ji ended with Sabse Bada Rupaiya. So there was a movie, Hindi movie, where Mehmood acted in it. And the name of the movie was Sabse Bada Rupaiya. I don't know how many of us have seen it, but
Sabse Bada Rupaiya means the biggest thing is money.
Yeah, that's so I saw that movie when I was in class 9th, and my mom was just saying, son, this is how the world is. I didn't understand it. But when that Steel Empire went down, that is the day I realized what that movie was telling me, and I could face it, face to face, see it face to face, and I could see that how the entire world, changes just because you don't have money now. It's so very blatant and right at your face. Yeah, over to you, Anu.
Did people stop picking up your phones because they knew now you were going to ask, not give? Or did they start calling you too much during that time? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you on.
Yeah. Asking you this question, did people stop picking up your phone, or did they start giving you too many calls because they wanted you to pay up? And the talk was
Oh
only
yeah. Not only that, yeah, that was those were very mild things. They would even today, I have to collect about 1.7 crores from Kanpur, and we paid off entire 50 lakhs. So this is what happens when your business goes down. People who owe you just forget you. They feel you don't exist. And people you have to pay are there with a gun on your chest. So this is what the world is. This is the cruel business world, which is there, and I faced it face to face. And that's how you deal with. I mean, you have to go through it. So again, in all these trying situations, people being people, they would try everything, and everybody has their own way of looking at things. So you need to decide what is ethical, what you want to do, and then have a process. And then, even in any situation you are, always think that you have a fertile brain and you can get out of it, and you can also convince the other person about it. If you have this faith in you, I guess you can handle any situation. So I remember, a lot of these vendors, because most of them had supplied, all of them had supplied steel to me, raw material, and they were my raw material vendors. And I told all of them that my unit has your raw material is still lying in my unit. Please go and pick it up. So 70% of them did it, but some 30% would say, "Well, we would not do it. We want cash back. We never thought, that your unit will go down and we'll have to pick our own material back." I said, "Well, this is, so you need to convince them." And then they would try a lot of funny things, because, as I said, behind their brain, more than getting their money back, is as a thought which is going inside their brain, where they want to insult you, where they want to show you down, and they're looking at different ways to do it. So you need to you have to be smarter than them, and you need to tackle them, and and tell them, "Boss, I'm not running. I'm at least paying your money, and this is a change situation, and the change is essence of life." So nobody today, my mom has about 50 lakh rupees in that Punjab Maharashtra bank. And who could have ever thought that a time will come when money in banks would not be safe? So none of us, can ever believe. I mean, so change comes to everybody, and we need to react according to the change, and we need to, react according to the situation. That way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing that
Yeah.
keeps going up and keeps going down is money. But one thing that has
Yeah.
to stay stable inside you is you're centered. If you are centered, everything can come back. But if you lose your mind, you lose your health, sorry, all the money in the world is not going to hold you back. I really want people to ask questions, because here is an opportunity. Manish has been through ups, downs, and ups. And right now is the time of people going up, down and up. So you have someone who's lived it and loved it and is still living. He didn't put a gun to his head and die, and he's existing, and that itself shows that he's an inspiration. I would love it if you guys would take an opportunity and ask him questions if you're going through a difficult period yourself, how to come out of it. Questions, guys? You have any questions? Any questions, guys?
Anu, can I ask something?
Please go ahead. Thank you.
Manishi, you mentioned quite a few times with examples of yourself and Bhushan Steel and other people that that's how steel works. I just want to know that, I mean, you can't do anything about it. That's how it works. That's what you're saying. ऐसे होता है. तो ऐसे होता है तो इसको avoid करने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? What can you do to avoid it? You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah.
Manishi,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Anu, the lady who's asking me the question, what's her name?
I'm Dr. Archana.
Okay, Archana. Okay, see, Archana, okay. Now, see, coming from a traditional business family, now this concept of, that steel industry goes through a roller coaster cycle, and most of the business empires do come down, is from a very traditional religious belief. It may not be scientifically proven. So, steel, as you know, that, Lord Shani, steel comes under his domain, and he's a firebrand god, and he can take you up and he can bring you down. So from that concept, and somehow I've seen so many of these steel empires, because being a man from the trade, Bhushan Steel, I gave an example because that they are a premier steel house in the
Yes,
country.
they are. They are.
But I know of hundreds of small steel empires which have gone down.
Mhm.
So this is the concept, but giving down going into the depth of your question, I guess first of all, um, I guess nature has a law which perhaps I don't know, perhaps you don't know. Okay, and maybe I've seen, I don't know what that law is, but it appears to me that that law says that perhaps, having wealth, continuous wealth and rising wealth generation after generation is perhaps not a natural law. Okay. And perhaps the natural law is that it is going to change hands. And, if you do mistakes so a lot of times there are various reasons for business empires going down.
Yeah.
One of the most common reasons which banks normally enumerate in their reports is, incompetence and unethical behavior by the promoters themselves.
Okay.
But a lot of times, like in my case, I've pointed out 5 major reasons. A lot of times, it's the tide against you. You are
Okay.
stuck in a high tide and the water is all over you, and you're trying your best. You're a good swimmer, you're swimming, but still you're not unable to. So sometimes, we must realize that earth itself is such a minuscule in the entire universe, and a human life, one human, is perhaps virtually not even a dot in the entire universe. So
Absolutely.
we have our own limitations as humans,
Mm.
and the only thing unlimited which we have is our soul and the brain. And I guess we must never give up, and we must have complete faith on our soul and brain, and with that we can handle it. Also I would share here something, that the joy of the roller coaster ride is certainly much more than a very smooth ride. So you are in a motorboat, or you are I mean, so if you have a ride like a roller coaster ride and a very slow ride, I would go for a roller coaster ride because it gives me thrill. So that thrill I have experienced myself. So let us assume that this empire of my father would have never died, and I would have continued with it. What people thought Venus would never go down, it would have continued. Then I would have never learned, and I would have never gone through those roller coaster moments when I had no money. Then the joy of earning small blocks of money from ashes. So that has its own charm and thrill, and you need to look at that, and you need to appreciate that.
Right, Rico. Thank you.
Yeah.
Manish,
Yeah.
Anya here.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
I agree with you that it's all a way of looking at life. Roller coaster is part of life. Just on a different level, I lived in about 15 countries
Yeah.
and literally lived in those countries. And at the age of 40, and I grew up in Africa, then I was in Asia, in the Middle East, I lived in Bangladesh, I lived so many places. And at the age of 40, I decided to leave my husband.
Okay.
Now, living every 2 or 3 years in a different country, which is not my country, where do I divorce? And he was general manager of hotels.
Yeah.
And so I had a fantastic life. I had a driver, I had a cook, I had a nanny, I had everything.
Yeah.
And then when I decided that's it, I don't want this artificial world anymore, I said, well, what do I do? You know, I was 40 when I decided that. And then our last posting I had with him was in Turkey. And then I decided in Turkey that that's it, finish. I didn't know where to go. I loved Istanbul. I said, I'll stay there. But two blonde girls, my daughter and me, I said, that's no good to be there alone. So then I literally left everything back. And I just took the daughter and one suitcase and started a new life at 40. And it was just amazing, all the things which happened to me. And I learned so much out of it. And I'm very grateful that I took the decision. But it took me 5 years to find the right time to say stop, you know. And then it's a different kind, but I also started with nothing. I mean, literally nothing. I had no home, I had no money, I had nothing. And started at zero again with 40, you know. And I think today I'm happy that all this happened like that, because I saw both sides of the world. To live in luxury and have everything, and to start at zero. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I would say the first thought which comes to me is guts. You have amazing guts, man. And it's not an easy thing to do it. We are all listening to it, but when you go through it, so it's like the shit hits the fan at that time.
Yeah,
and I can imagine.
A long tunnel. There's a long tunnel with no light. And then comes the end of the tunnel sometime. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, ma'am. I can imagine, and and with a suitcase and a daughter, and you just stepped out. I mean, those 5 years, I know what you've gone through, and it takes a lot of guts. So you have steely resolve in you, and you could go through it. And now, when you're looking back at it, you like the roller coaster.
Yeah, and I don't.
So I guess we choose. So there is this concept which Anu would agree, perhaps. A lot of spiritual gurus tell us this, that before we are born, our soul decides the journey.
Mm.
So perhaps it was something, and we need to also, what I learned, Anja, through my father, was that we need to think differently. We need to think out of the box. We need to think differently. We need to think different from what the world expects us to do. And that is where, where we get happiness and we get our financial goals as well.
Yeah.
Because in your case, it's a very typical case where you did not leave because of some financial goal. Perhaps you were in search of happiness. And that is what made you take such decisions, which to a financial guy, a financial consultant would say, this is Bizer. Why would she leave a comfortable materialistic life and go to a situation where she has to struggle, and she has to be a struggler? So it is very illogical from a financial consultant's point of view, but I can understand it because your quench was for happiness, and you were looking for happiness, and that is why you felt you gave happiness more important than the wealth, and that takes a lot of guts.
And I think I don't want to talk about my whole life story now, but very interestingly, I think all of what I went through is somehow I got it from my mother's side, because my mom divorced my father when I was 1.5. And in 1955, she went with me by boat to Africa to marry an Ethiopian gentleman. And this is where my whole life started, and it's just been an amazing roller coaster my whole life.
Wow.
Really fantastic, really fantastic. Yeah.
We should be talking about it on this forum, Anya. I must sit down and interview you. Anybody else for any questions? Anybody else for any questions? Guys, this is an opportunity. When someone goes through a tough time, they know exactly how to guide you because they went through that shit. They didn't just get it from books. Motivational talks are one thing. Experience is another thing. So Manish, can I ask you a question? What were your learnings from this experience? You said,
okay.
Yeah, what was your learning from this experience?
Okay, so this is what I would share something right from my heart.
Thank you.
So let us be very honest. We are all living in a materialistic world, and perhaps nobody dislikes money, and everybody likes money. So what I also did not perhaps purposely skipped during my talk was another reason of switching from steel. And I deliberately skipped because I felt maybe it's not the right forum, or I felt it would give the audience another angle to it. But I'm a guy, who is very emotional at heart, and I have been fascinated by love stories right from my childhood. And similarly, I have been very, very close to my teachers. And I have had some lovely teachers in my life. And there was this teacher who used to call us a panther. And all my life during my school time, we have been taught about such good lessons. Moral science was a subject, and we've been told to be honest, to be honest to everybody, to the whole society, to do things ethically. Now, when I was running this steel industry, I was a very young guy, and initially, the color of money was so green that I was very happy, you know, virtually evading every law in the land, because that meant more money for me. And that is, let me give you an eye opener here. Everybody does it in the steel industry, even today, except the Tatas and government of India. Everybody, even the big names like Bhushan or Jindal. So it was the norm of the day. It was the way the industry was run. But after about 17 years of running this industry and virtually getting all my financial desires satiated, I would not get sleep in the night. And I would say, is this what my teachers taught me? Is this the way to live life? So this was another major thing when I said, if Ratan Tata can do it, why can I not give it a try? Why not, why not try other way around? Why not try and make money through ethical businesses? Why not get into education? Why not get into ethical real estate, where you just buy apartments and put them on rent? So this was another part, and this is also a very, very guiding force. And I'll tell you, when the world is quite cruel, okay, and they don't like losers. I mean, if you don't have money, or or in their eyes you are going down, then they call you a loser. And they wouldn't see your heart, and they wouldn't say this guy is leaving the steel industry because he doesn't like tax evasion part of it. They would say he's incompetent. He doesn't have the guts to run the industry. And they will say, वो क्या वो महाभारत में आता है ना, रण छोड़ सिंह. They would call you रण छोड़ सिंह की battlefield छोड़ के भाग गया, guts ही नहीं है इस बंदे के अंदर. So I've had these kind of comments coming to me from all my relatives, and then from my wife itself. And then to deal with it mentally takes a lot of mental strength. You need a steely resolve to deal with it. You need to keep telling yourself, boss, let the world think the way they are. I'm going to do what I feel is right.
Thank you. That was really from the heart, because it's not easy. It's not easy to keep a mental balance and to keep hearing.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to know what's right and what's wrong. Anybody else? Any question, guys? Or then we close down the session. Anybody else? Any questions?
Anuj, I just want to say something. Manishji, that's a very beautiful thing that you said about your dad saying that you're in the steel industry, you might as well have steel flowing through your blood.
Yes.
It's a very big saying. Absolutely, I mean, commendable. Too good. Hats off.
Yes.
Really. I mean, and the way you're sharing things, it's not a pretense. It's absolute authentication of verbatim, to the extent that you're saying that even when my wife gives me that crap, it's not easy to deal with. It's beautiful. Thank you for opening up so much. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. And I have. So one of the reasons I've survived all this is that steely resolve which my father gave it to me.
I am sure. Absolutely.
Wow. Anybody else? Any sharing? Any feedback? I'm just going to take people's names. Abhijit, you have any sharing to do? Amita?
So, Anu, 1 second.
Yes.
Abhijit is my walking friend, and he is an amazing guy, and he has an amazing story himself. And I
Wow.
have been mesmerized by his conversation during my walks.
Wow. Wow.
He's an IT guy, and he has amazing stories as well.
Wow. Ashish, any sharing?
Ma'am, I want to ask something.
Please go ahead.
Sir, like when you have nothing and you want to start something new that is totally different from your league, at that time, what is your mindset?
Okay, so are you talking about setting up a startup?
Yeah, hello?
Are
Yeah.
you,
Am I
Can you hear me?
audible?
are you talking
Can you
about
hear me, Ashish?
आशीष क्या आप स्टार्टअप के बारे में बात
Are
कर
you?
Hello? Hello?
I guess we can hear you. Ashish, can you hear us? Can you hear
No,
me?
sir, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Probably he
that's
means your mindset when you're rising from the ashes.
okay.
Hello?
Anu, I think he has switched off his internet audio. That is why he's unable to hear us.
आपका ऑडियो देखो आशीष have a look at your audio because everybody else can hear it. Why don't you just answer because Ashish can always go back to the video.
Okay. So, if I get the question right, he's saying how to start from the scratch. Is that the?
So he's saying when you lose everything,
question right?
Sir, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay, Ashish, you please repeat
Yes.
your question because yeah.
Sir, I want to ask, like when you have nothing and you want to start something new,
Yeah.
like that is totally different from your league. Like I'm a electrical engineer and I want to start something that in health sector. At
Okay.
that time, like what is your mindset? Like you told, like you start from steel industry to go into the education sector.
Yeah.
At that time, you think like how you can go totally different side, because everyone is told you like everyone is saying you are electrical engineer and you are start to do something new, then how is it possible at that time?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ashish, business setting up a business has many angles and parameters to it. So, and also it's I say it is like the Indian Constitution. So if you look at the Indian Constitution, it is a very good blend of I think about 35 constitutions of the world. So you need to take the pluses from various strategies. So in to cut these small stories short, I would say you one very important, there are few things which I can suggest. One is have a very have everything written, have a to-do list. Now what that to-do list in very broadly should be, one should be the process. Now if you look at it, the West is very good in process. Let us be honest and accept it. The West is very good in process. So you can take a leaf out of their book and break down your entire dream plan of getting into the health sector step by step, day by day, into that process, just the way an Englishman or an Australian would do. They're very good at that process part. So have that put right. Now, I guess your major question is about the mental part. So the mental part, so in our business dynasty, it is said that if you want to be a successful businessman, you should not just run your business, but you should breathe your business. So if you see Ashish, you breathe 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you stop breathing for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're dead. So if you really want to be successful, your business should be, just like your breath. You have to breathe your business. That means it's with you 24/7, 365 days a year. And if that happens, believe me, you would be the Sachin Tendulkar of your business. So there's no rocket science, Sachin Tendulkar or any other batsman. There's no difference. The only difference is that Sachin is breathing cricket. It's as simple as that.
Wow.
Thank you,
That
sir.
was so well put. So well put. you get married to your business. You become part of the business.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I would say,
thank
Anu,
you.
you fall in love with your marriage, because we are living in times where sometimes love vanishes from marriages.
Yes,
So love is, if you love your business, I mean, you would be successful.
absolutely. I completely agree with you. Amita, Anya, Darpana, Pari, Shilpa, Teji, Usha, koi sawal? Any question?
No, I think it's nicely said everything, like my last job. I used to say my job I had for 12 years in Geneva was like my second skin. And like you said, I was breathing it 24/7. And then only you are successful. Yes.
Absolutely. I completely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Very inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so honored to have you today on this forum, and I feel blessed. Thank you. In gratitude to each and every one of you for supporting each and every speaker and me and each one of you. I understood today that we can, and when what I understood today was very interesting. From Voila, when she was talking about victimhood, and my head went somewhere else. And I said to myself, wow, it is the world that makes us the victim, and it's the family that can make you a victim, but not the least. We make ourselves a victim. So we also abuse ourselves by making ourselves a victim. So if you really want to live life with resilience, take off all the victimhood. And it's so interesting. Either it is victim, that is I am is impossible, or it is victor, OR, where you have other options to be. The first beginning of the victim and victor are the same. So it's just the ending. How you end yourself, how you hold yourself when things are ending, and how you give yourself options makes you either a victim or a victor. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I have enjoyed today completely. I hope you enjoyed it too. And keep supporting, keep connecting. The next session will be on the 12th. And on the 12th, we have two amazing speakers. One who's going to be talking about mind fitness, and the other one who's going to be talking about her inspirational journey. Difficult life, but an inspirational life. A life in which you don't give up is a life that I would like to quote here. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Anu.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye,
Thank
bye,
you,
bye,
ma'am.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you,
night. Good night.
everybody. Good night.
Thank you,
Thanks, Manish.
Anu.